have a real strong passion for artists. The reason why is because I know what it's like to be an artist. I know what it's like to be an artist that just wanted to do music and, the whole nine. I started out inside of the secular side of things. So the funny thing is I never ran into anything in the secular world that I've run into inside of the gospel world. I'm going to make sure that any artist that I talk to, these young artists coming in, that I look out for them. In the civil rights movement, there were such things called green books. Green books were the books that gave African Americans the safe route to travel and where they could stay safely if they're traveling, as far as hotels, motels, whatever. It's sad that in gospel, we need the same thing. The industry itself is beautiful. God put something in my heart a long time ago. It's a title called When They Found Money in the Word. Before there was a way for people to make money from preaching, before there was a way to make money from singing, you only had the people that came that were sincere about what they were here for. It's the same way with the gospel industry. So I'm in the gospel industry and I'm dealing with people and I'm starting to kind of meet people here and there. And I'm like, this is good. I'm meeting people. And I play dumb a lot. I play dumb a lot because, in the street, you kind of get a fast lane understanding that the dumber you play, the more you're able to see the real in the people that you're dealing with. When people think you don't know what you're doing, they're more likely to make mistakes. What managers do is this. Managers, they don't charge you up front. Managers actually charge you percentages. Usually it's 20% starting because there's the most work is done. The most work is done in the beginning of an artist's career. So they'll charge you 20% on every gig that they get you, every deal that they get, 20%. Bruh, listen, you really do be saying to yourself, like, I hope these people are right. But boy, when I tell you, people believe that by it being titled gospel, that you will get some form of integrity behind stuff. But let me tell you something. The devil hides best in the middle of comfort. When people are comfortable because they believe that the people will do right, when they're comfortable, that's when the devil attacks people. Let me just tell you, young artists, for a minute. In a management situation, typically you would be 20% for every gig, for every event, every deal that's done. Managers usually get 20%, right? And you can have that set up to a certain amount of time period, year, first 2 years. The reason why it's so high in 20% is because when you're not known, that's when the manager does the most work, leg work, right? So then as you become more and more known, that percentage can drop down to like 10%, right? Typically 10%. And so because now the manager doesn't have to work as hard. And so now the artist's name is working and the artist still shares the 10% because, they're doing business together. The manager's still doing work. I run into these people inside gospel and they tell me, yeah, man, we'll do management and like pay $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month and we'll get you events, spread your name out there and get you known. $1,000 a month. If you hear something like that, you have to know. Only in gospel have I found that. Now we talking about integrity. Listen, man, I'm out here before gospel. I'm out here with the dope boys, thugs. I'm out here with the managers that would hang you upside down by your feet. I'm out here with The roughest of the roughest. So-called quote unquote hoodlums, sinners. Y'all, and I'm sitting up inside the gospel, and it's most stuff being done to hurt you, and with these people that claim to be a part of the gospel arena. Listen, let me tell y'all something, and I want you to understand something. This has nothing to do with the actual gospel industry. This has something to do with the people that have snuck into the gospel industry, and they're taking advantage of people. Now, outside of management, I come across a radio promoter that's supposed to be the best of the best. People use big artist names and things like that, and they tell you that, oh man, big artist names, pop. I got to work with that person because they got a big name. So I was introduced to this guy through somebody who I knew from in the industry, and he had ran across. And he said, "Hey, I heard this name floating around. I heard he's doing some big things. So check it out." So I didn't question it much because I figured, hey, well, let's give it a shot and let's see what's happening. I'm fresh in gospel, so I get inside of gospel, and I meet him, and we start doing business, and the records are moving and stuff like that. And then I start realizing something, bro. Like I start realizing these prices and stuff like that going up, and all types of additional fees and all type of stuff like that just to work the record. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is how they do it in gospel. I don't know. We'll see how it works. I give it a try. I play dumb and give it a try. So I'm peeping game with this whole music thing, and suddenly I get this message, and the message is like, hey, so your record is at number whatever on the charts, but we need to add it on some of the bigger stations. But the only way to get it on the bigger stations is if your streaming is at a certain level. So I'm saying to myself, like, what streaming got to do with radio, bro? Like, that's digital versus terrestrial. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? What you mean by my streams? So he said, look, I can help you. I can help you get the streams where you need to be at, but you got to pay another $800 on top of the current monthly. And I'm like, bro, wait a minute. I'm paying $2,000 some change just on the radio, and you telling me I need to pay an extra $800 to get my streams right? I said, so what we talking about? Yeah, so $800 to get you like this amount of streams, this and this third. I'm like, really? And he's like, let me send you something. Okay, cool. So he sends me this. This is what he sends me. Lo and behold, what is it? A menu. A menu. Let's see if you can see this menu. Can y'all see this menu? Y'all see this menu? I can get you 50,000 views for $800. I can get you 100,000 views on Facebook for $1,200. 1,200 for $2,000. I get you Amazon. I get you about 25,000 views on Apple Music. I can get you views. Look at this, bro. I said no. I said nah. I ain't doing that, bro. That's fake. Like, those are fake numbers, bro. You can't tell me that certain radio stations won't pick me up yet because I don't have the amount of streams I need. And you're telling me if I pay you, that just so happens the person who tells you the problem is also the person who has the remedy. But anytime you hear that, let me tell you something. Anytime you hear the person that tells you you have a problem, but they are also the person you can pay to fix it because they have the remedy, you already know that this game running, baby. This game. So you give me all of this. Oh man, I'm the number one marketing company. I'm the number one marketing company in the world. I'm the number one marketing company in the world, and Gospel, I'm the biggest marketing person in gospel. And bruh, so guess what happens? I didn't pay it. You know what I had next? About a week later, oh man, radio moved on from your record. I'm like at number 10 on Billboard. What you mean radio moved from my record, bro? I'm number 10 on Billboard. And you telling me that because I didn't pay you to move my numbers up in streaming, that radio decided my record was done at number 10 on Billboard? Y'all, we got to do better and find out the same individual, the same company. I didn't know this. Several labels closed down because the fake streams that they didn't even know that they were getting through the same company. I'm glad I learned this when I learned it far back, like last year. Sometime I learned this last year on my last record, Letting It Go. Letting It Go is still a huge record right now. Huge record. How can radio say I'm done with a record that's still right now one of the most requested records? Even when I go perform, people want to hear that record. Look, this is game running, bro. The world lives off of black folk who don't talk to black folk. We don't share what we go through. We act like it's a shame because you got taken advantage of on certain stuff. Bro, no, talk to other artists. Artists, look, I've been hearing from other artists now since I've been traveling around the country and different things, meeting new artists. And a lot of problems is that, see, we think we're in competition, so we keep our mouth shut from each other, and you let people take advantage of other people to wipe them out. But truthfully, man, we need to understand what we're going through. We're suffering in gospel, but the reason why a lot of artists are suffering in gospel is because they don't talk to each other. And when they do know it's a snake in the bunch, they don't share it. You know what I'm saying? And we're often looking for each other's demise rather than looking for each other's success. Had to share this today. For some artists, they needed to know. I thank God I knew something about business, even more about the streets, because boy, them streets taught me a lot so I could know how to spot a crook.